What's up, One Nation? Evan Gates, rocking with you, saying welcome to Championship Week. Nazareth University in Rochester, New York is preparing to host the D3 Indoor Track and Field Championships. As we roll towards Friday, we'll take a look at which Hornets are competing this weekend for some national titles. Let's jump right in, of course, with the jumpers. Two hoopers on the hardwood, two athletes who needed minimal time to seal national marks.
And then over spring break, I guess I will be going to Rochester, New York.
Casey Kelly returns for the women's triple jump following an All-American performance as a freshman. Number 20 on the court, and now number 7 in the nation for the triple, Casey snatched the conference record with a 12.12 meter leap for first at the ODAC Championships. With only 2 indoor meets in the books, Kelly's third could be the charm. Do you know you could qualify for nationals with just 1 mark? Jamarcus Brown sure did. The freshman, who won a high school state title in the high jump at Tunstall, set a 2.05 meter mark at the South Region Final qualifier, days removed from Lynchburg basketball's semifinal loss to Roanoke. He set the best mark for a Hornet since 1998 and made the cut as the final nationals entry. For more Lynchburg contenders in Rochester, stay tuned throughout the week.
It's a veteran group for Randolph, as you see on your screen. Sanaya Crenshaw-Patterson, someone else who has picked up some all-conference considerations. It feels like this team is poised to make a postseason run, but Lynchburg wants a final breath. Olivia Harris just scored 1,000 points at EMU. She wants her career to keep on going past the regular season. Can Lynchburg seize the moment is the question. They're in the home whites, and we're underway from Turner Gymnasium. Kaysen back to the other side. Here is Olivia Harris, who needs just 1 point to crack the program's top 10 list for scoring. Won't happen on this possession. Tie up under the bucket between Simone Brown and Brooke Kaysen, and the Cats take possession.
Immediately on that first possession, you see how quickly Randolph's moving, the switches that they're having inside of that zone to kind of get, their man guarded, force those passes out. Littlejohn had a really good look there, wasn't able to come down with the shot or the offensive rebound, but you're going to kind of see that matchup play as this game continues to go.
Well, let's discuss this, because zone offense is so different than just going one-on-one with your man. Lynchburg is a three-point shooting team, and Randolph constantly guards the perimeter. What other options are there for the Hornets today?
It's going to be very tough because a lot of their game plan is kind of settling down, waiting until the shooter gets open before, whether it's facilitating or driving or whatever it is. And Randolph is going to force them to kind of quicken their pace up, move that momentum up, and that's something that we haven't, seen Lynchburg be successful at a lot this season, but it's something that I'm sure they practice and they've got a game plan ready to go. Randolph is a team that forces so many turnovers, forced 23 against Guilford in a big-time win last time out, a win that ultimately has them in a dominant position for the ODAC tournament. Olivia Harris strikes the straightaway three-pointer to put her 10th all-time on the Lynchburg program scoring list. So impressive. The senior out of Salem, Virginia, Glenver High School. Didn't even start a game last season, but she has come back and been really the main contributor when this team has needed her most. Down the other side, some reversals. Here is Kylie Stark. Goes up and around Spainhour, off the mark. And somehow the Wildcats corral the offensive board. Outside, Simone Brown wants to fire from 3, no good. And early on, you're seeing both teams come out defensively and play very physical. The refs letting them get away with it. I think this is going to be one of those type of games. You see Littlejohn up and in to give Lynchburg a 6-0 lead here early. Don't worry about it. Kate Littlejohn explodes for the second 3 of the game for Lynchburg. A great sign to start this one off. This is a Randolph squad that will shoot the three-pointer. Simone Brown might not be the main candidate who went up last possession. She gets it down low this time around Kayla Sledge. Up and in for the Wildcats. In that first contest against Lynchburg, Simone Brown hit a 3 that ignited the Mickles Athletic Center. Now we're going to see what Lynchburg can do on the other side. Kaysen surveys, great look inside. Catch and release downstairs, and another bucket, and a high percentage look for Lynchburg. And Littlejohn, you've seen it, she shot a 3 on the first one. That one came up short. She knocked down the next possession, and then inside there, her off-ball movement is setting her up for some really great looks. Crenshaw-Patterson cleans the glass, up and in for 3. Back to a one-possession game, and a very high pace being played with this press from Randolph's side. Kayla Sledge inserts to Spainhour, runs in all sorts of traffic, but the Wildcats will be called with the personal. And there's some of that physicality, and that's why they can almost get away with it. 3 Wildcats at the ball, swarming, reaching for it, going up for blocks. And a lot of times it's clean. Even if there is contact, the ref can't see it when you got 3 people going for it.
It's a great look to do it by committee, and in zone defense, that's what you have to do. It's all about swarming every part of the court. But Brees Bainauer fortunate to get to the free throw line, misses the first, but Lynchburg has had success in recent history, shooting 77% from the charity stripe in the last 4 games.
And as the seasons continue to go on, it seems like all of their shooting percentages have went up. You know, we talked about how, you know, their 3-point shooting is kind of down from a year ago, and that's the type of team they are. Well, it's went up, you know, fairly highly in the last 5 or 6 games.
Maybe that's a product of playing at home as well. We mentioned with Randolph playing at the Michaels Center fairly frequently. They had 3 games at home, a 3-game losing streak, but against very dominant competition. Lynchburg has 6 of their final 9 regular season games inside Turner Gymnasium. As Jackson fires, misses the rim, but maybe a second chance. Stark has to hoist from 3-point land, no good. TCP, the offensive rebound, still can't corral anybody's ball. Brooke Kaysen says, it's mine now.
And Lynchburg played such great defense on that possession just to not grab a rebound, right?
The hustle sometimes doesn't result in the final scenario, but Lynchburg able to get it their way. 1 and done on the offensive end. Stark looking to re-energize this offense. Maddie Pabon, such a strong 3-point shooter. Pabon this season, number 20 in black, has 41 of her 47 field goal makes from 3-point range as Jackson is caught for the travel. Jason Hunt's PR of 402 is the conference record. He's the DMR national champ, and he looks to take this one as a 4-time All-American and get his teammates engaged, because Marko Kovacevic, a 410 personal best, has had the season of his life. That personal best from Boston, though he missed last outdoor season. The Hornets have 7. Can they have a touchdown up front? Everybody in red starts on the inside. The rest of the field is on the outlets. Introduce the rest of the field to you. Toru Tung Davidson, another former All-American, 2nd at the 2023 Indoor Championships in the 800. He's wearing hip number 3. Cooper Hurst and Randy White, joined by Josh Fretwell and Jack Weddle, all for Lynchburg. Mitchell Diamond of WNL. Ian Fellows, from Roanoke. Seth Perry from Roanoke. Bennett Cups from Bridgewater. William Fitch from WNL. A trio up front right now for Lynchburg. Definitely have all the right pieces to make this one special as the crew rolls through in about 32 seconds to get this one opened up. Obviously, you expect it to not be run anywhere close to that 4-minute pace that so many of these guys on the Lynchburg squad are aspiring to get to. The Hornets have the front 4. Jason Hunt still leads the pack. I mentioned that Marko Kovacevic has just continued to rock and roll every single time he steps on the track, and the transfer from center has really tried to find consistency throughout his entire career. But this has been maybe that superb season that we will look back and remember. And Tor Hotung Davidson, after battling injury last year, has come back, put on a great display during cross country, and still continuing to PR. 412 personal best. The top 3 will certainly be important, but it's going to be that middle pack that decides a lot when we're looking at point swings and seeing if the Generals can rough anything up on the back end. But right now, no questions asked. It looks like a scrimmage up front. Cooper Hurst leads the chase pack. The Hornets selfishly would want to get that top 7, but the Generals certainly have the talent to prevent it. Mitchell DeMond, as we already talked about. 422 personal best, that seed time coming in. And then William Fitch also sticking tightly. 3 laps to go. These guys were right on 4:10 pace at the start of this race. you're not only thinking about some of the conference consideration, you're thinking about national qualifiers. And up front right now, Chasen Hunt setting the tone and trying to get his teammates involved. Every single time you hear the splits, you hear the urgency, you know these guys want to go after it, and it has been pretty much clockwork thus far. 2 to go. Tor Hotung Davidson about to make the pass into the lead. He does so with ease. The 6'4" grad student out of Oakton putting on, and Lynchburg and the Chase Pack have now taken the top 6 positions. It could be a golden chance for the Hornets. Have we ever seen a display this dominant? The bell will ring with Tor Hotung Davidson just 200 meters away, and 3:40 reads across the clock. It's all wheels now. The Hornets have a chance to do something special. They've got the top 6. Hotung Davidson's heading for home and everything in front of him. Trying to see how far down that mark's going to go. A personal best, and it's a big-time result for Tor Hotung Davidson. Marko Kovacevic crosses the line in second, just a few seconds behind. Chasen Hunt trying to help his teammates get through the line. He finishes in third, and the rest of the crew, Lynchburg swaps that top 8, and one of the Roanoke Maroons able to make it into the picture. Ian Fellows, a 4:24 result. Tor Hotung Davidson accelerates into 18th in Division III with a 4:07 final time, a 28-second 200. That is blistering when you look at how quickly he was able to get to the front. Marko Kovacevic stuck just not long enough.
I might not have a lot of change in my pocket, but I'll tell you who does. This Lynchburg softball team, who has really tested an array of ingredients this season. 2 different players have been at third base, 3 at short, 3 at catcher, 3 at second. So you can tell that Coach Don Simmons is really using different gears, trying to figure this thing out. Now, injuries have played a part. 2 different Hornets have had concussions this season, but it's really a microcosm for that bigger picture. Lynchburg wants to be in a really brilliant spot heading down the stretch, and you feel like, yes, it's the middle of the season, but 9-0 right now against Guilford. Things are on the up, and they're hoping to sweep this doubleheader here on Moon this afternoon. Back to you.
For the 4 men now coaching 3 volleyball programs at the University of Lynchburg, the directional duties are a committee effort during the 24-25 school year. As winter bleeds into spring, volleyball fans will hear fewer squeaks and more sand. But for Lynchburg's programs, the coaching personnel stays the same. Of course, this includes when men's volleyball and beach volleyball intersect during March and April.
It works pretty seamlessly because we all work really well together and we all communicate really well together. And I think we just tell each other what we need and when we need it. And if we need help, we're all willing to jump in and help. And I think, it's pretty cool to go to a match and see 6 of us sitting on a bench or 5 of us sitting on a bench.
That's Director of Women's Volleyball Kevin Cardoza. In his first season as head coach, his women's indoor squad returned to the Old Dominion Athletic Conference semifinals for the first time since 2017. As he transitions to the spring, he hopes to keep the same consistency.
It's not good enough if the women's program has success and no one else has success.
Each volleyball season has its own unique wrinkle. As assistant coach Thomas Chandler describes, some changes from the indoor season to beach volleyball are simple.
Indoor has 6 people on the court at a time. Beach has 2 people on the court at a time.
Others require a little more coaching expertise.
One of the biggest differences that I feel like in beach is that you don't get as much time to think about what you're doing as you just have to do it. Because there's only 2 of you and you get 3 touches.
Kaylee Keogh is one of the Lynchburg athletes competing for both the women's indoor and beach volleyball programs. Now in her junior season, she cites the unity within the staff as a reason not only for tight relationships, but also positive publicity for the culture.
I feel like it just grows relationships with all of the teams together and makes it more prominent in the community, knowing that there's so many people involved in the 3 different sports.
To learn more about the volleyball programs and staff members of the University of Lynchburg, visit lynchburgsports.com.